He sat behind his desk, armed with nothing more than a telephone, some number 2 pencils, and his trusted Underwood typewriter. Acting on a hunch, Buell Patterson started to type. He quickly filled a piece of paper that was once as vast, white, and empty as Lake Michigan on a sub-zero winter morning. It was 1941, and taking a gamble on this crazy idea of a publicity association would make him either a big cheese or an even bigger chump. Chicago in the 1940s wasn't just the city of big shoulders, it was the city of big dreamers. On March 19, 1941, Buell Patterson of American Airlines joined other publicists to create the Publicity Association of Chicago, later changing the name to the Publicity Club. It was quite a year. The world waged war.
I came to see you about this campaign of yours.
Americans packed movie palaces to see Citizen Kane, and football fans watched the monsters of the Midway maul their way to another NFL title. Meanwhile, the Publicity Club was cooking with gas, growing into the nation's premier communications organization.
If you were a member of the Publicity Club in Chicago, you were somebody, you were respected by the media, and you were respected by your peers.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6.
By the hit 50s, clipbooks and press releases helped Katz make a lot of bread and land a lot of clients.
I got to meet a lot of people that worked in the media.
PCC events sure were swell. Boozing was apparently as popular as networking. And check out this menu of luncheon guests. Actor Melvin Douglas, comedian Phil Silvers, singer Lena Horne, and band leader Duke Ellington.
We had a great bunch of people. Loved to sing and dance and thought they were performers. A couple thought they were comedians. Some of the women just loved to dance and would put on costumes and do chorus lines and things like that.
But it wasn't just cocktails and banquets. By 1959, Chicago was home to so much great PR work, the Publicity Club decided to toot its own horns with an awards competition. And the Golden Trumpets were born. The Trumpets were in their infancy when the psychedelic 60s brought a revolution to Chicago. From the Beatles rocking Comiskey Park in 65, to the National Guard patrolling the West Side in 66, to the anti-war clashes with police in 68. The times, they were a-changin' across the city and within the PCC. The club elected its first female president, the legendary Betsy Ann Plank. And the speaker forums?
It's a pageant. We need a theme, a song, some visuals. We need, it's a pageant.
The luncheon guests were a blast. Comedian Jerry Lewis, writer Studs Terkel, Broadway star Carol Channing, activist Ralph Nader, and Cubs great Ernie Banks.
The people were very engaging. The people were very friendly.
I just remember going to the luncheons and thinking that the topics were interesting and trying to figure out, my place in the Chicago PR community.
If you looked at the kind of people that would come to the club that spoke, I mean, everybody who was anybody really did belong to the Publicity Club of Chicago.
The press kits of the 60s gave way to the press conferences of the 70s. Electric typewriters and VHS tapes became the new tools of the trade, and the Golden Trumpets became the industry's most awesome awards.
If you have a Golden Trumpet, you have arrived in Chicago public relations.
The trumpet is like winning an Oscar. It's the Academy Award of Public Relations. And to earn that and to be someone that is in that group, that makes your work special and that makes you personally feel special.
The Golden Trumpets are probably the premier public relations award.
From the 80s, when the PCC hosted a rising star named Oprah Winfrey and savored the tasty tales of Basque restaurant critic Alan Kelson. Through the 90s and into the new millennium, PR pros have adapted to progress. Big time. But even as we've replaced typewriters with computers and laptops, traded old desk phones for new cell phones, and learned how to post, text, and tweet, some things never changed.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been
trumpets.
America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Trumpets.
has marked the time.
It's an award for doing something behind the scenes that you're not recognized publicly for. The only people that know what you do are the people that do what you do. And they recognize excellence, and that's why it's rewarded.
And to win a Golden Trumpet still takes a golden touch.
I think the primary secret to winning one of the awards is to first have a good, strong, effective, impactful, results-oriented program. Then you need to tell the story behind that program.
Show me the research!
It's the creativity. It's the taking a very simple or a complex issue and communicating it in a way that reaches the goal.
You have to move the needle. And the really good trumpet entries do move the needle. Things happen, they make a difference. And that's the legacy of trumpets, they make a difference. I think that's important.
That's why the Publicity Club of Chicago hopes to sound the trumpet for many decades to come.
The club still is somewhat of a hidden jewel, and there are a lot of people who still could benefit from knowing that the club exists.
If you're a new person in the profession, you can learn from people who have been in the profession for 20, 30 years.
It is a wonderful organization of people who are working very, very hard and very, very creatively to move Chicago forward for their clients, for their companies, for their organizations, for the institutions that they represent.
I think PCC is a great way to broaden your network and at the same time develop additional expertise in your field.
It's a great place for young people to get involved, and young people are the future of our profession, and the PCC has to be strong.
Tomorrow's PCC is really kind of coming today, and every day there are new pieces of the puzzle being added.
We're also making some dynamic steps to move toward bringing in those younger public relations practitioners to make sure there's a good, strong generation to continue to carry the torch for us.
I love the Publicity Club of Chicago.